The Food Safety and Quality Authority of the Gambia FSQA and partners held a day-long validation workshop on the draft groundnut technical regulation on Tuesday at the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara Conference Center in Bijilo. The development of the draft groundnut regulation came after the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations FAO and the World Health Organization WHO launched the Codex Trust Fund in 2014 to support developing countries' meaningful participation in the Codex activities. The Gambia was awarded the Codex Trust Fund through the FSQA to, among other things, develop regulations for food commodities of national interest. The FSQA then initiated the development process of a groundnut regulation using a multi-stakeholder approach. Speaking at the validation workshop, Mr. Momoduba, Director General of FSQA, highlighted the importance of groundnut in Gambian society.
Why groundnut? If you look at the consumption of commodities in the country, groundnut happen to be the second largest consumed commodity in the country because it's definitely prepared in so many different recipes and dishes in the Gambia. And we have made it a proudly branded Gambian food, which is domoda, which we enjoy most of the time. And if you look at most of our recipes, you find groundnut. So recently, the scientific department of the authority embarked on a consumption data, and it will be interesting when the report comes out to find out how much we are consuming and in which way we are consuming groundnuts.
Dr. Mustafa Sise, Deputy Country Representative of the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO in the Gambia, explains why groundnuts from the Gambia and other parts of Africa are not allowed in the European Union EU market. He also reveals how a new regulation could help solve this problem.
If you talk about the Gambia without making mention of groundnut, then you don't know Gambia. Historically, the Gambia is highly linked to the groundnut value chain. In the past, we have been experiencing problems with regards aflatoxin and groundnuts from the Gambia and a number of countries in Africa were not passing EU regulations. So this meant that the Gambia and a number of African countries could not export groundnut into the EU market. So that is why the European Commission, in conjunction with the African Union and FAO, decided to work with African countries to see how best they can put in place regulations that will ensure that groundnut produced in these countries will be of high quality and will pass the standard regulations, and they will not have any rejects when they go to the European markets. If we are unable to sell groundnut at premium prices, that means that the foreign exchange earning capacity of the country will be significantly reduced. And it is for this reason that FSQA is putting forward this regulation. Indeed, the regulation is more of a guiding document. It sets the standards. But most importantly, it will be at the level of the producer to ensure that the groundnuts produced meet the required standards and will pass the set guidelines in the regulations.
Dr. Faimane, a senior lecturer at the University of the Gambia and an aflatoxin expert, noted that aflatoxin contamination is a major problem in the Gambia as it reduces groundnut production.
And the contamination of aflatoxin has really affected the production and the productivity of groundnut in this country. Likewise, the trade and the health of the people. Looking at the groundnut, the contamination of aflatoxin has affected 60% of the groundnut that is produced in this country. It is quite very significant. And this has resulted to decline in both production and trade.
The draft regulation has been through a comprehensive review and an amendment process, which included consultation with and feedback from a variety of national and international stakeholders. Reporting for Kerfado, I am Landin Sise.